Yeah, go ahead and get started. And if George is able to log in, then he'll go after Princess as planned. But if he's unable, maybe we can reschedule him and just have a shorter session today.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Hey, good to see you.
Hey, cool desk. I can't see. We're just waiting one more minute for our other guest.
Oh, there he is. Yay.
Oh, yay. Okay, George is in the house.
Yay.
Yay. Awesome. Hi, George. How are you?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, so glad you're here.
Oh, me too.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Very.
Hi.
Hi, Lindsay.
Oh, hey. Oh, I love your background, Barry.
That's great.
What I wish I was seeing.
I have to do the background thing.
Everyone's doing cool backgrounds. Son of a gun. Oh, I'm not on mute.
You have a cool background. Well, it's your photo.
Oh, shucks. Let me get a coffee and I'll be right.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. Yeah, thank you all for being here today. We're so happy to virtually see you. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, before we begin, I want to do a virtual land acknowledgement. So let's all take a moment, and no matter where we're calling in from, I think we have some people from Anchorage, down Kenai, Fairbanks. No matter where we're calling from, let's just feel that ground beneath our feet. Imagine our feet are touching the ground where we're on. And let's just take a moment to give thanks to this land that's always been here for us, for the Indigenous people. And no matter where you're at in Alaska, you're standing on Indigenous lands. And so we want to say Chinan, Masicho, Kuyana, Anabasit, and all of the ways that we give thanks to this land as it provides for us, as it always has and it always will. So Masicho to the land for the medicine and the life that you bring to us. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do a quick introduction, myself and my coworker Lena, and then we're going to introduce our guests. So, Daazhraii Rochelle Adams Oji, Guchajet, Tentu Gwat, Dink Edat, Juk Anchorage Gwich E, Shikinai Amea, Kosot, Asledahan, Amea, Nasin, Native Peoples Action, Community Fund, and Jit Shigutritagwas in Indigenous Engagement Coordinator EC. So Nafas in Show EC. I'm really happy to see all of you. It's so great that we're able to use this technology to see one another and connect. I said that my name is Rochelle Adams. I was raised in the villages of Beaver and Fort Yukon. My 3 children are Amea, Koso, and Shedahan. There's one walking down the stairs. And I see my daughter is logged in. Hi, Amea.
Hi.
And I live here in Anchorage now, where I am the Indigenous Engagement Coordinator for Native Peoples Action Community Fund. So Masicho again to you all for being here. And I'll turn it over to Lena for her introduction.
Dan Hedun, Lena Jacobs, Donadalio sa Uza, Tla'aloga Hutan sa Dansalit, Anchorage Lesdo, Ina'a Di Olin Bauza, Ita'a David Hoffman Bauza, Ina'a Badeshnaka, Lillian, Yes, Fred, Olin, Hava'u Zakaila, Lorraine, Yes, Johnny Honey, Hava'u Zakaila. Hi everyone, my name is Lena Jacobs. I also work with the Native Peoples Action Community Fund and Native Peoples Action. They're two separate but sister organizations that focus on a statewide audience to uplift Alaska Native voices and well-being. And I'm Koyakana Sebastian. I'm originally from Ruby, but I live in Anchorage. My parents are Dee Olin and David Hoffman. My mom's parents are the late Lillian and Fred Olin and the late John and Lorraine Honey. And we're excited to have you here today. We had over 30 distinct computers logging into our call last week, and Rochelle and I were just reflecting before we got started that our cheeks were sore from laughing and our hearts were really full, and we're just so grateful to spend this time with you all and continue to maintain our community with one another and still have some connection despite the physical distancing that we're doing right now, which is why we created this space, this virtual space for all of you guys. We're really grateful to our volunteer guests who have agreed to be in our lineup for these 3 weeks that we've got planned out. I do just want to let you know that this is being recorded right now, and we plan to share this recording through our social media for people who weren't able to make this specific time. And also just a couple of housekeeping things. If you guys could keep your phones on mute, that would be really great. That will allow us to hear our guest speakers. And we would love to hear from each of you to get your voices in this space, but we know that doing introductions could easily take up the bulk of our time. So I just invite you to use the Zoom group chat and just do a shout out, list your name. You can list your culture, the community that you're joining us from, and we'd love to hear from you that way. So first, we're going to be hearing from Princess, and we are just so grateful to have you join us. She has many wonderful talents and is really deeply engaged in our community in many different ways. And I'll invite you to introduce yourself, Princess, and take it from there, unless you have anything else you want to add, Rochelle, before we jump in.
Just quickly that Princess will be going first, and then we'll have, depending on time, we may have a short amount of time for dialogue, and then we'll hand it over to George, and then we'll be doing, depending on time, may have a short discussion afterwards. It's a quick hour, but it's really fun, and we're just really glad to spend this time with all of you. So yeah, go ahead, Princess.
Okay, hey everybody. I don't know why I just feel like I'm getting the giggles already. I don't know why. La fo ichi. Shojri Daazhraii Nets Aiguchen Ichi, Shiachanai Catherine, Stephen Peter Oji Gabakwa, Shahan Atline, T Ernest Rayboff Oji Gabakwa, and Shijunai Kitsayat Alzak Delnor Shakai. I always get that one wrong, or I always forget that one. James, and so my name is Princess Daazhraii Johnson, and I am up here in Tanan or Fairbanks, and my grandparents are the late Catherine and Stephen Peter. My grandmother originally came from Stevens Village, and her marriage was arranged to my late grandfather, Seho Stephen, up in Arctic Village in Daazhraii. And so they ended up living up there. And yeah, and I am getting a little bit of feedback. I just grew up with a lot of just loving stories, all kinds of stories, like our traditional stories, but just all kinds of stories from all around the world. And I still love stories. And I just feel like especially during this time, it's really important that we continue our storytelling traditions, the old ones, the new ones, that we pass that on to our kids, that we encourage our children to tell us stories. And I'm really fortunate because Shih Tzu Catherine, my late grandma Catherine, did a lot of work for many, many, many years, not only working on dictionaries for Gwich'in, but also writing down our stories and writing her life story down. And a lot of these publications are available at the ANLC. I'm not sure if you can order from them now or not, but I wanted to share a story today from one of her books. Can everybody see that? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways, it's kind of hard with my background to see it. There it is. Dinjiju Kwantak, this Gwich'in stories. And actually, Rochelle recorded one of them online on her YouTube, on her Gwinzi YouTube channel, which is the Nehai one, Bitsagitsaka Nehai, or the frog. But I really wanted to share Jecho Ji Ha. So Ji is something that Ji is lice, and it's not a laughing matter if you have it. If you've ever had Ji, it's not a laughing matter. But after the fact, we can laugh about it after the fact. But this is actually a story called The Giant and the Lice. And a long time ago, we had these giants that roamed the earth. And to give you an idea of how big they were, the children were like grown men, okay? And then the mama giant, she was maybe a couple stories high, but the father giant, he was so big that he could see over the treetops. So that's how big the big father giant was. And Bitsagitsak, in a lot of our stories, he helped people. He helped our people, and he also was really friends. He was friends with the Jecho, with the giants. And so this story, well, I'll just get into the story. So he had just got done helping Father Giant in another story. And so this is kind of a continuation of that story. And he told Bitsagitsak, come in. He's like, come eat with us. And they had prepared all this food. And Bitsagitsak said, I'm hungry. I will eat with you. After I eat, I'll sleep a while, and then I will go. So, he made all of this food, and the food was so good. And of course, the giants, they had to cook a lot. So he was roasting that moose over the fire, and then he had cooked 100 tlukcho, 100 king salmon, and the salmon were piled up so high that Bitsagitsak could barely see over this big pile of king salmon. And so then they're just sitting there and they're eating, and the family, everyone sat down and they're just having a good time. They began to eat. But then pretty soon, Father Giant, he started itching all over his body. He was itching his head. He was itching his stomach. He was itching his back. He was itching all over the place. And he said, I have lice. And they were just all over. They're making me itch. And he's just really itching all over his body, this Ji. And so of course, Bitsagitsak, he's always trying to be really helpful. So he said to that big giant, Shitsonya, can I help you? What can I do to help you? And so he said, Father Giant said to him, well, can you kill these can you kill these lice that are, they're driving me crazy and I can't kill them myself and they're small, so I can't see them. And so pretty soon Vitsagisak thought about it. He said, I'll kill them for you, but put me inside your shirt and I'll kill the lice. And so Vitsagisak, Father Giant, picked up Vitsagisak and he put him in his shirt like that. But it was really dark in there. Vitsagisak couldn't see anything. So he had to light a fire. He had to light a fire in there so he could see around. So that's what he did. He lit a fire and it was really, really, really dark, but then it got really light and he started to see all these little animals running around. He thought he saw dogs running around. There was just all these animals running around that big giant. And then guess what? They weren't animals. And they were not dogs. They were They were lice. And the lice were as big as dogs. And they had more legs than dogs. And they were really ugly. Ooh, those lice were ugly. And they had all these legs. They had a million little legs. And they were just running around really fast. And so Vitsagisak, he took out his bow. And he had a bunch of arrows. And he took out those bows and arrows, and like one by one, he started whoosh, whoosh, just killing off those lice with his bows and his arrows. And he worked for days and days and days, killing off all those jeet because there was so many of them. And he was just exhausted. Finally, he killed all the jeet. And then Vitsagisak, when he finished and he helped Father Giant, Father Giant took him back and he put him back on the ground. He took him out of his shirt. And guess what? Vitsagisak was so exhausted, he slept for 3 whole days. That's how much work he had done killing all those jeet. So he slept for those 3 days, and then finally he woke up, and that's how he helped that giant. And he wanted to travel. He woke up and he was refreshed and he wanted to travel and see the world, and mostly he wanted to go see what other people he could help. Akote.
Wow. Masi cho, Princess. Let's do a round of applause for Princess. Masi cho. So we do have some time here for some discussion. So you can go ahead and take yourself off mute if you want to say anything, or we do have some time right now. So
great. Maybe you have your own jeet story. I joked. You want to share your jeet story? I joked.
Also, welcome to everyone that joined us. I see Candice and Angela and Brian, Brianna, Nina, Sarah. Welcome to everyone else that joined us. So glad you could be with us today. Yeah, that was super funny. I actually hadn't heard that one in a long time. So must see.
George doesn't have a jeet story. He's never had them. Poor.
No, I've been in the same classroom, but nope, this happened. Oh shucks. No, I had not heard that story. Sweet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Somebody said they're Naljet, they're scared now.
That was me.
Oh, that was you.
When you said the jeep was big as Slancho or dogs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I really love all the language in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody.
Model. Sorry.
I remember when somebody was telling about my great grandpa would just laugh and laugh and tell stories in Gujin, and then they asked him to translate the joke, and he said it's funnier in the language, but it's true. And you said I just bust out laughing so hard.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Yeah, whenever my kids itch their head, I'm always like, hey, jeetni, you got G.
In the Inupiaq language, the word is kumak.
Kumak.
Kumak. Yeah.
Kumak.
And I'm going to tell you my story. So when my 17-year-old started junior high and really started having sleepovers, we ended up with kumaks, right? And my hair was down to almost to the back of my knees. And that's a lot of nitpicking, right? So my brother was there, and I said, brother, I want to know if you would have shaved my, he was like, yeah. He didn't even let me finish the question, right? So I shaved all my hair off my head, all the hair off my daughter's head, all the hair off my grandson's head. And then my brother, he was like, well, since I'm here, you might as well shave the hair off my head.
oh.
So later that evening, me and my grandson are snuggling on the couch, right? And he's like stroking my bald head. He's like, you know what? We're just a haircut family. But, you know, kids share things with each other, and kumaks is one of them when you're not vigilant about what's happening at school. And it's just one of those things, right?
Yep.
So occasionally my grandson was like, we should have another haircut session. I'm like, no.
That's great. Oh, I'm just happy to see all of you.
There's lots of people I can't see on here. I'll have to go through the gallery.
Yeah. Somebody said they feel itchy, and someone said they want to shave their head too.
It's actually quite freeing. For me, it was very freeing because when I shaved my hair off my head, I lost any sense of vanity, right? Like, part of my ego was very humbled by it. So I'm not saying that all you ladies have to do it, but like, it was really freeing for me, and I lost that. I don't know, that part of my ego that was like, my hair is so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I agree.
Barry, when did you shave your head?
Like a week and a half ago. I was having a craft night with friends, and I didn't have any projects I was working on. And so I said, well, work on my hair.
Nice. It does look super freeing.
I don't have any bedhead anymore, so people don't know I've just woken up when I get on Zoom calls.
Well, it looks great. Awesome. Well, we can move on. George, if you're ready.
Sure.
Okay. So our next guest probably needs no introduction. If you don't know him, I highly recommend you get to know George. He is just, I can't say enough good things about him. He is just like a burst of light. His energy is radiating and amazing. He brings positivity and just so much joy to every time, I see him. I just feel blessed with his presence. So Chinan, for being here. I feel so grateful that you're here, and thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us.
Sure. Doga Dan. Thank you so much, Rochelle. Gee, Rochelle and I met a few years back now. I mean, how long ago was it now?
I don't know, maybe 5 years?
5 years ago?
Maybe more.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you were living down here,
That's
right?
the time. Yeah.
And Rochelle and her family came over to my house for Thanksgiving, one Thanksgiving. That was really sweet. So I get to see Rochelle every now and then, and her kids too, mostly at the Festival of Native Arts. So Ade Yehuds Yuchgits E. What is that? George's gravy? I can make some gravy.
And your pies.
Oh, that's great. So, Yuchgits E Se'ezre, Dig Hit An Itlan, Deloy Chet Hut in Niso, Gogade Sagayach, Soldatna the Do. So, my name is George, and I'm living here in Soldatna on the Kenai River, and in the home that my mom and dad and I built when I was a kid. So I'm thankful and grateful to be living here. And we always say that the house is living up to what it was built for when we have, you know, these times of sharing and underscoring, you know, what's important. So, what's a few songs? Let's see. Hey, hey, ha, hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, ooh, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, hey, ya, hey, na, ita, ina, hu, hey, na, ita, ina, oh, na, ita, ina, hu, hey, na, ida, ina, ooh, hey, ah, hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, oh, Nathis Chen, hey, 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 Nathis Chen, oh, hey, ooh, hey, ah, hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, ooh, hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, hey, na, to, hey, hey, na, to, oh, na, to, hey, 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 na, to, oh, hey, ooh, hey, ha, hey, oh, hey, 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 yo, oh, fellowship, hey, love, unity, ah, hey, ooh, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, wee. So, okay, great. Anyway, I thought I'd sing you a couple songs that I haven't kind of like sung for a while. And one of these being highlighting a really special relationship between an auntie and a niece. So an auntie and nephew, you know, just that we all, you know, aunties, I believe, like keep the world moving. And I was writing some music with some kids in Juneau, and there was a little 4th or 5th grader who wanted to write a song for their nephew. And it was the sweetest things, and all of her words ended up in the song, and just, you know, it's just a sweet little reference to their relationship and to their little short little history. And all the words that she said, you know, made it into this little song. So the last thing that she was saying just before we just finished, you know, writing this little song was, yeah, I'm like his little mom. And we had a cultural specialist there, Helen McNeil, who said, oh my goodness, in the Tlingit language, the word we have for auntie is Uskitla, little mom. And it was such a beautiful, you know, such a beautiful connection. And this little girl was so pleased. So this is her little song expressing her relationship with her nephew. It goes, Achik, my sister's son, I'm your Ruski Tla, your little mom. On the first day of your life, you fell asleep in my arms. Now you're big and rough, you little wrestler. Nothing at all like when you were born. Achik, my sister's son, I'm your Ruski Tla, your little bum 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 bee. Isn't that
Beautiful.
cute?
It's so cute and beautiful.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. There was a number of little songs that were, every one of them, you know, was so adorable. You know, of all those songs back when. So let's see. Let's sing one that is real recent. So this was for I'd say that was almost 15 years ago or so, that little ditty. So this one here was just written this last January for the Tlingit culture, the Tlingit language immersion preschool in Juneau. Called me up and asked me if I would write a song. And so I'll let you know how they, you know, what I needed, what I wanted from them. They said they wanted to write a song. Oh, okay, so what are you gonna want this for? They said, well, the kids want to be able to express something to their classmates or their teachers or family who are either out sick or are out way traveling and they're thinking about them, they're missing them. They want to acknowledge them. I said, okay. They said, we want it to be lighthearted and something to be sung once or twice through. And apparently they must take photographs of all the kids because they wanted to be able to bring the kids that were out into the center of the circle and they'd sing to them. They'd put their pictures back, apparently. So this song, not only being new, it just seems to express, you know, more of that connection and the sweet longing that we get from being at a distance from each other. So this is in Tlingit, a little song about missing your friends. Let's see. Iye chaltetish, ye atut chesed wasa itiye, gu os chayuk, iltu satinek, gu os chayuk, hui, iltu satinek. We miss you. We wish you are okay. We hope to see you again soon. We hope to see you again soon. Yeah, truth, chesed wasa itiye, tu os chayuk, iltu satine, tu os chayuk, Rochelle, iltu satine, we miss you. We wish you are okay. We hope to see you again soon. We hope, princess, to see you again soon. Hey, oh, hey, we. We.
Masito, George. Masito.
There you go. Well, there's a couple songs to hopefully lighten your day.
Yeah, definitely. What a perfect song too for now, when we're all missing each other.
Oh yeah, sweet.
When I hopped on initially, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, oh, it's nice to see people's faces on Zoom, but I sure miss seeing people in person and giving hugs and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. All of those longing songs seem to be like really appropriate for right now, huh?
George, your plants are awesome.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, I love plants. And I do got a few of them. Take a look over here. This is the bay window. Can you see that over there?
Wow, is that a banana tree? What is that?
That is called a Madagascar palm. Can you see that? And it has really sharp.
Wow.
And look how huge this aloe vera is.
Wow.
It's going to bloom twice this year. It puts up a spire that will grow an inch a day, and it'll come all the way up to here and put out apricot trumpets.
Wow.
Something that this won't stop blooming. And this is a little something from Madagascar, another one from Madagascar. But it doesn't hardly ever lose a leaf. So yeah,
They
I'm a
must be
plant lover.
they must be thriving from all your music that you play for them.
That's sweet. That's so cute. I love it. But you know, I just cherish those little things, and I love seeing them grow. And there's nothing like the wellness you can get from taking care of something that just likes to breathe and likes to just drink a little water and take in the sun, something simple. But I really get something from taking care of plants. They're pretty big, and I thankfully I do have some big windows to host them, I guess. So I'd love it if you all come for dinner sometime. Yes, plant love Israel.
Yes, thank you so much, George. Did you want to share any more songs or?
Sure. I mean, one last plant there.
Oh, wow.
That was,
Beautiful.
you know, Easter cactus or something like that. So,
You have such a gorgeous house.
thank you. Okay. All right. One last one here then.
Sure.
Okay, I don't know what happened to my video. Okay.
I've really been enjoying your videos that you do in the evenings. Thank you for sharing those.
Oh, cool. Wow. Awesome. Oh yeah, no doubt. What a time to, you know, be sharing and, you know, using our arts to express a little more closeness. You know, I know what it takes for me, you know, to try to sustain my own self And so I know that I need to go out and sing and, you know, do things. But I think that we as a people need to remember that we're singing together people. So this is another song about missing and longing. So this is one that came this last year when working on Daazhraii at the Baskin and working with Jim Dementi and Edna Deacon of Shagaluk and Grayling, our elders from there. So this is a little Daazhraii. What do you think? Chandet al ining nagas. Chandet al ining nagas. Hey, hey, ya, hay na, oh, hey, hey. Yo, I know, oh, hey, yo, until we meet again. Needs notes to take, Idana, Ida, Cisco, Nayich, Elanda, Ida, hey, hey, yo, I know, oh, hey, yo, I know, oh, hey, yo, until we meet again. Stand the tall evening Stand the tall evening hey, hey, ya, hey, ya, I know, ya, hey, 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 ya, I know, oh, hey, yo, oh, until we meet again. Whee!
Masicho, George. Masicho.
Yeah. Agade, agade. Agade, that's the way. Agade, that's the way. Agade, agade, that's the way. Hey, ha, hey, agade, hua, hey, ha, hey, that's the way. Whee. All right.
Awesome. That drum just fills my spirit and makes me so happy. It's so great just looking out and seeing all these happy, smiling faces and to know that you guys are feeling the same thing. So thank you so much, George. And thank you to Princess, both of our guests. So we're so happy to have you join us today. Yeah, so we have a little extra time if anyone wants to do any shout outs. I see people saying hello to each other. Yeah.
Let's see. I wonder where I can see. Where can I see the names? I don't see anybody.
If you're on a phone, I think you swipe.
Yeah, you have to kind of swipe through the arrows.
I can see people. Does anyone want to share a message to George or Princess?
Thank you so much, George. We really enjoyed your music, the drumming. It's just really beautiful, and we're just loving it up here in Fairbanks.
Yes, it fills our spirits, and it fills our spirits so deeply. Thank you, thank you.
Oh gosh, you guys. Well, you know, this is a little a little give me your hand kind of song. Hyundai Jin, Rochelle, Hyundai Jin. Hyundai Jin, Angela, Hyundai Jin. Wooch ee, wee, wooch ee, wooch ee, wee, hey Yahweh, hoo, hey Yahweh. Give me your hand, Naina, give me your hand. Hyundai Jin Rose, Hyundai Jin, Wooch ee, we, togetherness, Woo Jin, together, Hoo hey Yahweh. Hyundai Jin, Kendra, Hyundai Jin. Hyundai Jin, Amaya, Hyundai Jin. Wooch ee, we, wooch ee. Wooch ee, we, hey Yahweh, hey Yahweh. Give me your hand, Brianna, give me your hand. Hyundai Jin, Sarah, Hyundai Jin, Wooch ee, we, togetherness, Wooch ee, we, hey Yahweh, hey Yahweh. Hyundai Jin, Eva, Hyundai Jin. Give me your hand, Frank and Lindsay, give me your hand. Wooch ee, we, togetherness, princess. Donna 2, Kendra 2, and Mary Star, Patricia and Sarah, Hyundai Jin,
Woo! Beautiful.
It was so perfect.
I just have to say, like, about, I don't know when it was, but George and I, we always bump into each other in the airport. And a few months ago, we bumped into each other in the airport, and I was just having all these thoughts about kind of maybe what was to come, right, in the months ahead, and feeling some way. And I ran into George and I said, we were talking this, that, and the other. And I said, George, what do you think about these times that we're living in? And he said, oh, they're wonderful times. He's like, what a wonderful, exciting time to be alive. And I went, yeah, it is an exciting time to be alive. And just that, like, pure, sheer, like, response to just, we're here for a reason, and we're experiencing these times for a reason, but we're alive, and we have each other, and we have many, many, many blessings. And that unification, that extension of the hand, it makes a world of difference. And I just really I keep seeing George's expression, and that curiosity that we have to carry in our hearts about everything that's happening, and maintaining and grounding ourselves in that gratitude and those blessings.
Wow. Yeah, that's well put there, Princess. Yeah, I remember that, day, absolutely. And I don't feel any different. Absolutely. I feel absolutely so blessed to be alive in this time, and in these days, these struggles. And look, I look around here and I see my cohorts, you know, who I'm going through this with, and I know that there's like amazing folks who really believe in true things that I get to go through this with and like say, this was our life in this time
Mm-hmm.
of the world, and
Yeah.
these are the things we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for those kind words. And it's really inspirational. And, you know, that's really the reason that we wanted to come together, and that we wanted to bring people together and connect with each other and to share these positive messages and to know that even though we're being, you know, social distancing and we're in our homes by ourselves, that we really do have this sense of community, and that we don't forget that we're surrounded by people who love us and care for us and send all of these well wishes to one another. So just thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm just so happy that we're able to do this. So, you know, just thanks again.
Masicho, Rochelle, for bringing us together.
Masicho. Did anyone want to share?
Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
Anapase.
Thank you. It's been fun to see people, like people. Like, hi.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your bringing your hearts with us today. And alawa pada George. And thank you again. And I hope everybody has a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
Wow. How about that? Wow.
Before folks sign off, I want to let you know that we'll be doing this again next Thursday at the same time as well. We've got 2 more guests who will be joining us, Yari Walker and Allison Kelleher. They'll be sharing about traditional medicine and healing practices. So we hope to see you all again, and please feel free to share the invitation with anybody in your community. This is open to anyone. So we're really happy to see repeat folks from last week as well as new faces.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And hello, George, it's your cousin Nina in Fairbanks.
Hey, that's so awesome. You did. Well, can I go out with a song?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's see if the phone will actually stick up there for me. All right, so this is what I determined to be a song about being grateful for what comes your way. And it's a song in Athabascan in Koyukon that says, it's thanking all those animals that have come their way and given themselves to us. Anabase gositlo kiltoch oh iye iye aliyah oh iye aliyah oh iye anabase godina baba inlano oh yeah aliyah oh yeah aliyah oh yeah anabase gositlo kiltoch oh yeah aliyah oh yeah aliyah oh yeah anabase godina baba inland oh yeah aliyah oh yeah aliyah oh yeah anabase hui dogaden yichuds Dogadin, Rochelle.
Dogadin. All right. Thanks, everyone. Maticho, George. We'll see you all next week.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
Ninahuahaya.
Sassy Princess.
Thank you
We
so
sure
much.
appreciate you both taking time today.
Thank you so much.
And remember, wash your hands.
See you next time.
This was amazing.
Thank you for being here. Shanet Ethan Shiatsi.
Nanahoya.
Aha, Nanahaya.